Hey guys, back with another very personal video. I promise I don't just post depressing stuff on here, I promise. Like I'm working on the music video, not the music videos, but I'm working on visuals for each of the songs off of Opaque Tapes. I just wanted to get on here to be a little bit personal with y'all again for a second. Whoever may be listening, whoever may be feeling anything similar, just to let you guys know that you are not alone. Common struggles that every artist goes through is just feelings of struggling with a lot of things. Confidence, worthiness, all of the fun things of that sort in that ballpark, so to speak. Things that I am currently struggling with, which is confidence, self-worth, and something you have to do in this is learn, obviously make the art personal, but learn to separate the personal from the art. Like this is currently just a moment thing, but like it happens throughout the week, and I haven't entirely figured out a way to deal with it. Because there will be times throughout the week where, I feel like I'm just, I feel like I'm really that nigga. I feel like I'm really like a real, I don't know how to say this. I feel like I'm an amazing artist. And I'm told by people that I'm an amazing artist. But time and time again, I am surrounded by lots and lots of amazing talent. And I almost feel lost in the mix. In this community I'm in, I'm surrounded by people who have years on me, who have experience on me. And I don't know. I kind of always just feel like I'm just suffering in silence with this to a certain degree, which is kind of why I post these, which is kind of why I make these. I, at least compared to a lot of other people, and comparison is the thief of joy, but at the same time, when you are constantly surrounded by lots of talent, people that actually have a fan base, people that actually have like a brand, and I have a brand, you guys don't know it yet. It's not really recognized widely yet, but it will be. However, it's just currently right now, and I really hate saying this or speaking like this, but I feel as if I don't really provide any value to people, as an artist, or, as a brand, as really anything in that sort that I want to do. And this is just a temporary thing. I don't always feel like this, but I do. And like I was saying earlier, this isn't like a constant thing. It's not like an everyday thing. But at the same time, it does happen at least like once or twice a week. I battle with this, and I don't know. The people that are in my corner that I talk to here and there, they tell me the exact same thing. And so they tell me the exact same thing. They said, "Oh, you just need to be patient, yeah." And I am patient. I'm very patient. I just wish I had a little bit of acknowledgement here and there from from at least one or two of my peers, like every now and then, like, dang, leave a little comment saying this is fire. But then again, they're actually doing big stuff, and say they're actually doing big stuff. Whether it's actually like expanding their services as a brand, or getting radio placements. And I'm doing my thing. About to release my first music video. I'm doing my thing. Like I'm building my brand. Just waiting my turn, and I don't really care how long I have to wait, whether it's 7 years or 17 years. I don't really care how long I have to wait, because I know I'm going to get it. I know deep down within me that I'm gonna get it. But it's just like, fuck, just trying to like deal with all of this. Like, if say you've ever been next to a whole bunch of talented people, or people that are like, leagues ahead of you, they're like you, except they have all the stuff that you don't have. And I know you are not supposed to compare yourself to these people, but at the same time, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do, because I don't really have anyone else within my league. Friends of mine that I have, like, I have a bit more. I have a bit more of a social media following than them. You know, I have more connections, and I don't mean that in like, oh, I'm better than them. It's just like I don't really have anyone who's dealing with stuff on the same level as me currently. I'm the middle child in this situation. I am slightly bigger than some of the friends of mine that I make music with, but I am significantly smaller than the other people in this community that are my peers. And it gets very discouraging at times. It almost feels like I am alone in this sense. And to a certain degree, I have my roommate slash, who's supposed to be my manager at some point in the future, but I have him. He's my photographer slash videographer, and he helps me out a lot. Thankful for him. And I have Muse as a mentor as well. I have other people who want to mentor me, but at the same time, these people also have their own thing going on. You can't really, ultimately, I am gonna have to get this on my own. I can't really rely on anyone. So, hey, usual life situation. Can't really rely on anyone, And at the same time, like, with Muse, my manager, or not manager, my mentor, she is a manager. She's a manager of a lot of different artists. And I'm not signed to her, but you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. I am not, I'm not under her artist umbrella, so I do not take as much of a priority. My engineer my engineer is the closest thing I have to a mentor. But at the same time, like, he's also obviously busy as well. He has a life. And I don't know, I just feel very alone. Very much, to the wolves in this situation. Like, I have guidance, but not a whole lot. And I just, it's just been a battle, so to speak. Trying to justify to myself that, I am an artist. I am worthy of, I am worthy of praise. And that I will, after enough hard work, and I bust my ass. A lot of y'all don't really know the stuff that I deal with, on a daily basis, damn near. I never really feel like I'm doing enough compared to other artists, compared to other people. Even though I'm posting at least every other day. Lately, it's kind of been twice a day. I'm posting every other day, and when I'm not posting, I'm writing, or I'm producing, or I'm editing, or I'm fucking shooting, and I don't know. And, a lot of y'all don't really know this. Like, I will quite literally kill myself, with work and drive myself into the ground. And part of my anxiety will still tell me, you are not doing enough. You need to be posting 4 times a week. You really need to prove that you want this. And I want this. I want this more than anything. I could give a fuck about this job. I could give a fuck about a lot of shit in life. I want to be an artist. I want to make a living off of my art eventually. And it's just been kind of a battle, because we're humans. Of course we're going to want validation, and it's not the validation that's driving me specifically. It's just the feeling of it's just the desire, the deep hunger that we all feel as artists, and just at least wanting a little bit of acknowledgement, not even just from random people on the internet, which I guess you could consider these my peers random people on the internet. At the same time, just every now and then a little comment on the post, hey, this is fire, hey, good job. Because I never know how I'm doing with progress. I never entirely feel like I'm progressing. And I guess that's kind of the thing with progress. You'll never know how you feel with progress. Or you'll never know how you're doing with progress until you've already progressed. you know, I at least know that I'm making progress. I can at least take solace in that. But at the same time, I never know how I'm doing. And like, they're progressing to me. Right. I don't know. I just really, really want to just like get my own thing going so that way I can just focus on that. I am focused on that right now. But I just really, I don't know. I patience is something that I've always kind of sucked with a little bit, as you can tell. I think it's because most of the stuff in life, I got very lucky with to a certain degree with getting a lot of different stuff fast. Even in terms of like picking up my like producing skills and learning music and everything, I was able to pick up on it decently quickly. So I guess for actually getting a fan base and getting established as an artist, it's a very slow burn, and I guess I'm just not entirely used to it. But yeah, just stuff that I'm dealing with. And if any of you guys are dealing with stuff like this as well, comment, like, share this with someone who might who might be feeling the same way. And this isn't how I don't always feel like this, and this isn't going to be the only kind of content on here. Like I said, we got music coming, we got music videos, we got a vlog, a very artistic shot vlog, with, in my opinion, creative editing. And we got a whole bunch of cool stuff coming. It isn't just going to be stuff like this. I just had to get on here to at least vent out these feelings because I don't know. I don't really feel as if I have anyone necessarily I could go to. So, yeah, I love you guys. Thank you to whoever watched this, whoever liked this, whoever shared this, whoever took time out of their day to look at this. I appreciate you, and yeah, I love you guys. And we will be on top.